Hello everyone, this is Crustlemania and welcome back to another video. So in my last video that I mentioned what was a new concept and question to the viewer type video, I did mention that I was going to try a new idea. So I don't have the specific name for this series yet. I may make up a placeholder name, but if you guys have an idea for a name for this, definitely let me know. I would imagine this is similar to Mimic Brew's hottest cards of the week, but it's not exactly every single card that he's going to go over. So in this video, I'm going to go over a few of the ones that he went over in his videos, but one of them will be outside of that. And for me, I'm just going to focus more on the cards that I'm more familiar with versus like he does all the sets and stuff and the promos and all the hottest cards. So all the chase cards. So that is definitely an idea. And this is just me trying this out. So I want to see how the reception of this is first before really diving into doing this, but I think this may be a little bit more sustainable than the selling videos, but we'll see going forward. But this is definitely a concept I've wanted to try. So the first card this week is the Radiant Eevee. Now with the bull market, and I know Mimic Brew mentioned this card in his video, which is actually a coincidence in timing because I mentioned it in my selling results video, and then his next week's hottest cards of the week, he added this as a random promo that he saw. So maybe this card shot up, but it was quite a coincidence. I was like, I literally just talked about this Eevee card, but maybe because of prismatic evolutions. But anyways, I've sold multiple Eevees and the price has gone up a lot, and Mimic Brew went over this as well. So this is the Radiant Eevee on TCG Player. I've sold the English and the Japanese version. I think I undersold the Japanese version because before there weren't any comps for Japanese, so I just went based off of what was on eBay. But now that TCG Player has the values for the Japanese cards, I saw that I sold the Radiant Eevee in Japanese for way too low, but that's for another day. But this is the Radiant Eevee, and the near mint pricing, as we'll go to here, switch it to near mint, is $11.56, which is quite crazy. So I'm really used to selling this Radiant Eevee. I think around November-ish time is when I started selling. So, and I got two from the eBay listing that I purchased. So it was around November, end of October, November's time. So Radiant Eevee was sitting at around like 5 something. And I remember selling one for about $6 and one for about $7. And I remember the $6 one was relative to market price. The $7 one, I think, got bid up to $7. So the last time I sold the Radiant Eevee, I sold it around 7 because I didn't really check the price. And I think it was around here. So it still was hovering at around 7. I went on the higher end this time, around here in December. But the last Radiant Eevee, as you guys saw from my selling results video, I think the 24th week, the Eevee just shot up in price, and I think it was around here where it was sitting around $10.50, $11 around this time period. That was the 24th maybe selling results video. It was around here, so around $10, which is crazy. But even now with prismatic evolutions, the card market price value for TCG players gone up to about $11.56. So I guess, yeah, low price is $2, high price is $20. That's pretty crazy. And then you see around here, they're selling it, starting at around like $9 to $10. So that's pretty crazy. And I know Mimic Brew goes over the TCG player side, which is great. But for me, and I don't think this is going to set me apart from any other videos, but this is just what I look at. So I reference TCG player, but I go to eBay sold listings. So here you have the eBay sold listings, and this is definitely something to look at. So just do that. But so the EVs as of January 18th is, some are being sold for about $8, but you notice that they're trending at around $10. And I actually am surprised because sometimes eBay is higher, but sometimes it's also lower, as you're showing here. So $8 plus $1.50 shipping, so that's about $9.50 plus tax. It might be around 10, maybe up to 11. But this is about $11 free shipping, so it's getting pretty close to TCG market price. But if you look at the sold listings like I do, you do see that some of the pricings for some of the cards are just sold for less. Like, oh, there's a Japanese one for $7 plus $4.26 shipping. This one's really on the low end in terms of being sold. I'm kind of surprised. I guess it was an auction, so they started low. But yeah, you see one here being sold for $15. So it varies, but I think the average is kind of around the most recent sales, which is around $8 to about $10. So it kind of averages out 10, 10, 8, so around $9, 10-ish dollars. Because this one's $8, but with $6 shipping. So this one probably is in a bubble mailer, or the person paid for a plain white envelope with insurance to have the tracking on that envelope. So that does factor in, because you pay $8, then you pay the $6.05 shipping. Then after that, you pay the sales tax. Same with this one, even $1.25 shipping. This is $11.25 plus the sales tax, and on top of that. So I used to do 97-cent shipping, and to be quite honest, it wasn't bad, but I think it was better for me to switch over to free shipping, just because for some listings it made a little bit more sense. And I read in I feel like Reddit page somewhere, that when I was looking up for selling on eBay, that a lot of people are very used to Amazon and their free shipping system. So a lot of people are looking for free shipping. I'll be honest, I myself am looking for free shipping. I think I'm like Pavlov's dog, trained by Amazon to look for free shipping. So I just figured, you know, as a buyer myself, if I'm looking for that, then probably other buyers are looking for that. So I'll give free shipping a shot. And you don't make as much with free shipping unless you hit a higher amount or you do combined shipping, but that's for another video. So anyways, the Radiant Eevee is kind of hovering around, I want to say, pretty close to like TCG market value. So that is the eBay sold listings here. And to get to eBay sold listings, at least on the computer, you can scroll all the way down and then show only, click completed and sold items. That's how you get to this page. That's something it took me a while to figure out before I knew this. My friend showed me, who's in the card hobby, he showed me this. I never even knew this existed before. So the next card is this Greninja EX. Now, I have not sold one of these, but I do have one of these. I got it at the last card show I was at. And this I got, and you'll see that video, I got this card, I will honestly say, for under $20. I knew this was a cool card. I just wasn't sure how much it was going to go up to. I think at the time it was about $16 market price. I got a little bit lower than $16. Not much lower, but a little bit lower. So I was like, okay, 16 still not bad. This card has shot up to about... Oh, I think this is higher. Hold on. $29. $29.60. That is insane. That is literally more than double what it was when I first originally purchased this card at around market value. $29.60. That is crazy. I can't even imagine $29, $30 for one piece of cardboard. I mean, maybe that's just me, but like, dang, that is crazy. The art is really cool. It's just like, wow, how did that happen? Like, the low is $7, the high is $38. Like, man, that is crazy. And like the actual listings on TCG Player going starting around like 30. That's like that is crazy. I mean, I'm really glad I didn't pass on this card back at the card show. I like debated, but the card looked good. I was like, I'll swing on it. Maybe I'll hold on to it, sell it later. And like, it's crazy. I can't even imagine $29.60 just TCG Player market price. So we'll switch over to eBay now, and you see here, so there's a PSA 9, but last sold listing $25 and then $44.58 shipping. So that's about like $29.58, and then add on sales tax, and then you probably get around maybe like $31, maybe $32, depending on how much sales tax is there, depending on the state within the US. And here's $29 free shipping. And $25 free shipping. Like, dang, $20 plus $13.99 shipping. So that is crazy, but you can see how the evolution of the card value is, and even translate on eBay, because sometimes eBay is higher, sometimes it's lower. So at least for raw cards. So you can just see the raw cards here that are being sold relatively close to market price. And a good thing to note is when you sell cards on eBay for over $20, you cannot use their eBay standard envelope. You have to use standard tracking for shipping. So any card over $20 in value, unless it's with combined shipment, has to use like either a bubble mailer or paid tracking, which is about $4 to $6. So in my opinion, if it's for a card over 20, just ship in a bubble mailer. It probably is more, it's probably better packaging wise, better for the customer, and probably for your peace of mind, that's probably better. I haven't personally done that yet, but that's just my idea, that if there's any card like this Greninja, if I were to sell it on eBay, I definitely would use like a bubble mailer. I might charge a little bit extra, maybe to account for the shipping, or maybe add shipping on just so you know what it is, but at least put in a bubble mailer versus like a plain white envelope. Just because if you're paying that much already in a plain white envelope and the bubble mailer are about the same price, I'd rather use a bubble mailer just for security purposes. That's just me, but you can just see how the TCG player market price and the eBay market price are pretty similar there. So the next card is the Kingdra EX, and I know Mimic Brew went over these three so far: the Radiant, the Greninja, and the Kingdra. And this card, as you saw in my 25th selling results video, I sold a lightly played one for about $16, which is crazy. I did not expect that. I thought I was selling it for 10, so really did not expect that. We'll check the lightly played price right now, which is still sitting around like $12.38, which is still pretty good, but like near mint is up to like $15.55, which is quite a big spike, because I think when I thought I got this card from the LGS store, I think it was sitting around 9 something here. Yeah, I got it around maybe beginning of December, so maybe sitting around like 10.27 to like 9.94, somewhere around here, I think. And I just didn't expect this card to shoot up to 15.50. So the low is 2.95, the high is 23.46, but the actual starting price for near mint in terms of an actual selling price is lowest is like 15.58, but if you want like a TCG player actual gold star seller, it starts around like 18 plus shipping. So that's at least $19, not including sales tax, depending where you live. So that's about almost 20 something. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. So we'll look at the eBay price now. So on the eBay side, it's about, I think this is near mint. So selling for $12, but then plus $4.26 shipping. So that's about $16.26, and then you add sales tax, it might be around $18, depending on where you live. This one sold for about $17 plus $1.25 shipping. So this one sold as a lightly played for about $15. So the market is relatively a little bit higher for the lightly playeds being sold, but for the actual near mint copies, they're actually equivalent to what TCG players selling them for. Market price might be $15.55, but the TCG player sellers are selling them, at least for like the verified ones, are starting around 17, but the lower end ones are about 15. But with the lower end sellers, I mean, I tried this as well. Like, this is me on TCG player with even less sales, but you have to account for shipping too. So you can lowball price, but then this is $16.58, and then you add sales tax wherever it's going to. So it might be around $17, $18. So one thing to remember is when you put the card for market price, you don't get that back as a seller, just in terms of fees. That's why you do see certain sellers charge extra just so they can kind of make back at market value, which I've done as well, I'll be honest. Just to make back market value, so to maybe get the value of the card. But I'll show you a card now that I definitely don't get that on. So just for the Kingdra EX though, before we move on, pretty much similar there in terms of like TCG player and eBay listings. So The next card is the Gyarados EX. So I want to bring up this little low-end card because I've sold 6 of these, and I just like to look at this one just because this is kind of the low-end card market. And this one has increased, wow, actually a lot. I haven't looked at this in a little bit. Last time I saw it, it was back down to like 86 cents. This card now is back up to about $1.13, which is quite crazy. So near mint condition, which a lot of the ones that I've sold in the past were near mint condition. I sold it for about $2, made about 73 to 75 cents back. So it's a little bit higher than market value near mint, but again, I don't make back $1.13. And a lot of sellers here are selling them for like 50 cents, 98 cents, plus a 127 shipping. So here with free shipping on orders over $5, they hope that you do combined shipments so you don't have to pay the $1.27 shipping. Otherwise, you're paying the $1.27 shipping on top of 50-cent card. So that is just interesting there. You see the TCG low is 15 cents and the TCG high is about $3. So not too bad there, but yeah, they kind of average around $1 if you add like shipping. If you don't, buy enough to get combined shipping over $5, then you're paying about $3 probably for this card, because it's about $1.27. So it's $2.27, and then whatever sales tax on top of that is will probably make it about $3. So just something to consider. And now we'll go over to the eBay side. So the eBay side, you'll see the Gyarados. There's one there overseas being sold. This was being sold for 99 cents, but with a $1.75 shipping cost. So about the same as TCG Player in terms of that for raw cards for this Gyarados. This one is just in a range. So these ones I don't normally pay attention to just because I don't know what the card actually sold for, because it's up to that value. You don't know. This one sold for about $1.98, so around kind of what I charge. So the Gyarados kind of sells for around $2 if you do free shipping, or $1 maybe with like $1 with 90 cents shipping, or if you do 65 cents shipping, you can do the difference to maybe add it up to $2. But anyways, this one's selling for $2.20, $2.99, and so it's relative to TCG market value. So there are some other cards that are completely different, and maybe I'll do that in the next video. But for this video, I just wanted to try this out. If you guys find this interesting, let me know. I only did 4 cards just because these are the first 4 cards off the top of my head that I wanted to record, and I want to see how this video did so far. So if you guys like this series, let me know. This is going to be the first of whatever this series is going to be called. Maybe I'll think of a placeholder name or an actual name of this series, but for now, I kind of have no clue what this is called. It's not hottest cards of the week, that's for sure. I don't know if it's called like cross-comparing TCG Player to eBay. Like, I have no clue for a name of this. But anyways, I hope you guys like this video and kind of what I look at when I kind of do price comps. And this is normally what I look at even after I have a card listing up, or when a card sells. I normally look at eBay sold listings a little bit more, but I do cross-reference the TCG Player market price just to see if they're similar or if I'm overcharging or whatnot. So I think a lot of the times sellers try and get close to TCG market value even on eBay, but sometimes they just don't compare. Like sometimes TCG Player is way higher than eBay market value, and sometimes eBay is way higher than TCG Player market value. So anyways, hope you guys like this video. Have a good one, everyone. Peace.